Rumor after rumor, scoop after scoop, we continue to do what we do here on this channel, bringing you entertainment news before it has even reached the first headline. Perhaps the companies out there, the studios, are none too happy with us, but we're doing it again. Folks, we told you that Luke Skywalker is coming to the Mandalorian movie in a heroic fashion. Now we're here to tell you that there's more to it. George Lucas is in the news, and we're bringing it to you exclusively right now. Hello folks, welcome back to the Pro Channel, the place where we bring voice to the mainstream middle, the sensible center, the folks out there who just want to say, can my entertainment be very, very good once more, please? Can we do universal ideas and truths that people enjoy? Can we stop the divisive nature of movies, streaming, and more? And folks, as we dive into today's content, consider clicking the like button. You are the gigawatts that drive it all. Today we're talking about George Lucas, who just turned 80 years old. And folks, we have a major story about the PR campaign they plan to run to try to save the Mandalorian movie and get the advertising, the marketing, and the public perception in the very right direction. The Kathleen Kennedy vision, this is not. Let's bring on the panel, folks. It's time to break yet another exclusive scoop right here on the Pro Channel. Out of People magazine, George Lucas turns 80 inside the billionaire Star Wars creator's marriage to wife Mellody Hobson. And I do find it interesting, folks. This is interesting to me that on a day such as this, there are very few articles celebrating George Lucas' 80th birthday, despite what he did for Bob Iger, despite what he did for the company to try to hold off Nelson Peltz for one more year. And by the way, may have doomed Disney by doing so if Peltz goes for a hostile takeover. But instead of articles covering George Lucas, it's all about Mellody Hobson. This is so fascinating. George Lucas and Mellody Hobson married in 2013 and welcomed their daughter Everest later that same year. This by Tommy McCardle. It says George Lucas is making a milestone birthday. The iconic filmmaker behind Star Wars and Indiana Jones turned 80 on May 14th. Why, that's today. While Lucas does not frequently work in the film industry anymore, we'll talk about that in a minute. He is spending quality time with his wife of nearly 11 years, Mellody Hobson. Hobson is the president and CEO, or co-CEO, of Chicago-based investment firm Ariel Investments, and she has also worked as Starbucks chairperson of its board of directors since March 2021, and previously was the chairperson of DreamWorks Animation. And this article, essentially, is just a rehash of who Mellody Hobson is. It's fascinating to me that on George's birthday, so few articles are actually about George, and maybe that's the way he wants it. Maybe that's the way he likes it.
I do notice that they don't list the fact that she is on the board of J.P. Morgan Chase.
Yes, and that may have had some sway when it came to the time when George was called upon to make an endorsement recently. But let's leave that where it may be for a moment, because, folks, time is of the essence, and a scoop we have. So you showed up. Usually we hold these a little bit later, and we do have a very big exclusive coming out later today. But we're going to start off with one right off the bat for those of you out there who decided to join us today this early, and that is that a little birdie has told us, Jonas, actually just this morning, we kind of scrambled to readjust the show, but a little birdie has told us that we may be seeing George Lucas on a production set.
Wait. Which I think you need to rephrase this. Which little birdie are we talking about here?
Well, one that can actually fly. No, this is without saying who it is. This is someone who has been in and around and has sent us. Well, I'll tell you, this is the same source who let us know that Luke Skywalker is allegedly going to be in the Mandalorian. And when we found that out and brought that to you all, wasn't very long later that Mark Hamill was saying that he was cryptically working on a project in his tweets, and that he was starting the movie and the next day or 2 days from then. And that just seems to exactly coincide with when The Mandalorian goes into production. So fancy that. Same source and new information. Let's get into that as we do, folks. For being here so early, I've gifted 5 WDW Pro memberships out there for you all. We have a member exclusive live stream coming out this Thursday. I want you to be there. That's why we're sending out those gifted memberships right now. Folks, if you would be so kind as to bring some more folks in, let's turn that chat green today. so that so many can join us for the member exclusive section Thursday. All right, here's what we've got on the scoop. Jonas, Marvin, my source, who, again, broke the story of the Luke Skywalker news, and all credit goes to the sources. We have the best sources in the world here. We believe it, we say it. The scoop is that George Lucas is likely to turn up in the first 2 weeks of June on the Mandalorian movie production. And I am told that we need to perhaps be ready for Disney to release an image of George and Jon Favreau together as their opening salvo of marketing the Mandalorian movie, because that, they think, is the way to begin turning this around and getting audiences back. So George Lucas, according to our source, on his 80th birthday, likely to be with Jon Favreau for the first 2 weeks of the Mandalorian production, which, by the way, we do not yet believe that it has gone into production, but we do believe that it is in table reads and costume fittings, final set approvals, and all of that. Gentlemen, what do you make of this idea that Disney is turning back to George, at least for now, at least for marketing purposes? Your thoughts on the Mandalorian having George on set?
I think this is great that they're going to get the director of American Graffiti in for this. That's that classic American muscle car style in there. I think that'll be a good injection into the series.
Oh, nice. Well played with injection. Well played. Car puns.
I think this is one of those situations where it's like, okay, well, be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. I think people kind of forget that, like, the things that George Lucas likes in Star Wars, where he's like, we're gonna do an episode of we're gonna have a 4-episode arc of Clone Wars with nothing but droids, and like these are the things that he likes. He likes droids and Jar Jar and like poop jokes, and like maybe we shouldn't celebrate this too hard, because I mean, yes, it's the devil.
Well, let's be cynical then. So let's be cynical, Marvin. Let's get cynical. I want to get cynical. All right, so Marvin, so let's do that. Does this win Disney any points, bringing George Lucas onto the set with Jon Favreau? And who knows, maybe, I don't think this is going to happen, because I think we beat them so far ahead of when they wanted to announce that Luke Skywalker would be a huge part of the movie. So I don't think that they're going to do George, John, and Mark Hamill all in the same photo, but they could. Will that win Disney any points back?
No. I mean, George Lucas was on the set of The Mandalorian before. This is not a new thing. I mean, yes, he might be taking a more active role. Last time he was definitely just a visitor, but what's he going to really do feasibly? Like, is he going to just stand there and be like, yeah, that looks good? Like, I don't know.
You
I don't
should make it rhyme.
Huge. Make it rhyme.
Just to double down on what you're saying here, all those pictures of George Lucas meeting Baby Yoda, quote unquote, meeting Baby Yoda. I'm hearing rumors that might be a puppet and CGI. I don't know. That's you might know more about that as a fabricated American, Marvin.
Right. I love puppets. Everywhere I go, people are like, "Look, a puppet," and I'm like, "Where?" But I never see it.
But when we look at this and what Disney tries to do, there's these rumors that they're going to put a Walt animatronic in the parks to introduce great moments with Mr. Lincoln here. Stan Lee, they like him how he is. I wouldn't be surprised if they start putting CGI Stan Lees into the Marvel movies. Jim Henson, they like him where he is, and I think as long as George Lucas is willing to stay quiet and not talk about the company, they're very happy to have these still frames or videos that have no dialogue in them as they're playing music over it, talking about how great it is to have George Lucas here, and they'll say that he's approving of what they're doing. They may even start to indicate that he's actually working on the film. I think that all of that is marketing, and it's meant to appeal to the people who want to hand wave and say, these aren't the droids you're looking for. No, the series is not dead. In fact, it's just as much George Lucas's as it was when he was actually making it himself. That's the story that they're going to go with. But
Jonas, I think we're overlooking the big story here. Is that 11 years ago he married a lady,
a lady who was very well connected in the financial sector.
So we've got The Mandalorian. Disney needs to redeem Star Wars. They know they've got a problem. We've talked about this several times on the show. Whether or not the audience believes that Disney can redeem this franchise, the franchise is going to be restructured as best they can and as quietly as they can. Jonas, run through a few of the reasons why we have perhaps begun to believe that those rumors are true. Start us off with Fortnite. What are some of the things that we've seen out of Disney that sort of lead us to think that a soft reset is happening and the Kathleen Kennedy vision is at least being moderated?
Well, let's talk about May the 4th, and with that, of course, Fortnite.
Mm-hmm.
Fortnite does a good job every year of celebrating Star Wars in some way. Disney themselves, was it last year or the year before that they did literally nothing on May the 4th, despite it being their own corporate holiday that they've co-opted from a bad joke. Of course, the Orthodox calendar celebrates May the 25th, I do believe, since that's the anniversary of Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Fortnite is regularly doing events that incorporate, well, this year, if you can go and rescue Chewbacca on the map, and he will have a life debt to you until the end of the match and fight alongside you with a bowcaster. You can get the Beskar plate car for rocket racing or things like that, which is, by the way, one of the few Disney era Star Wars things that you can get. The only sequel trilogy reference that they make in any of their new items for this May the 4th, there's a single guitar that is on an obscure quest line in Fortnite Festival that gets you that 7-string Halixet, that weird guitar that most people would identify with the Halcyon Galactic Star Cruiser. Apparently, that thing was actually in the background of Force Awakens one time. That's the only new item that's actually from the sequel trilogy in all of this. Everything else is George Lucas era Star Wars, very specifically original trilogy stuff, with a heavier focus this time on Empire Strikes Back, with them hitting Return of the Jedi and Star Wars: A New Hope in the past.
And Jonas, why is this more than just a third-party licensing company that is choosing to go with what's popular? Why is this more significant?
Well, that is because not at the last earnings call, but the one previous to that, when Bob Iger was hoping to jazz the stock price, he announced a $1.5 billion investment into Epic Games in order to create a Disney Fortnite, much like the Lego Fortnite that has been put in. By the way, Lego invested $2 billion, and I think they're probably going to get more than their money's worth at it.
Well, you're gonna have Cinderella. You're gonna have Cinderella running around with an assault rifle.
That's the question, right? They're trying to play both sides of the issue here. The only Disney character in there, because obviously Alien is owned by Fox, Predator is owned by Fox, which are of course now owned by Disney. You can go around shooting people as that, and Ellen Ripley, and Star Wars characters. But the only Disney character in there is Jack Skellington, and he can go around with an assault rifle or a sledgehammer and go beating down people when they're down but not out, taking them out, demoralizing them in a match. The thing that they're probably doing over there at Epic Games is they're creating a multiverse. And Bob Iger made this ridiculous statement on the earnings call talking about how I talked to Josh tomorrow, and one of the things that he told me was that young people play video games, or at least that's the gist of what it was. So after they had shut down Disney Interactive and the Disney Infinity division, after they had shut down one of the greatest, most legendary game development studios out there in LucasArts, they shut all these things down, and now they're saying, you know what we ought to do? Bob Iger, had a revelation that we need to be doing video games. So instead of, they could have said, we're gearing up this division on our own. And instead they made the smart call and said, we're actually going to pay someone else to be the creative force behind this. And they're paying Epic Games to build a Disney Fortnite, which I don't know if they've really thought that all the way through, but it could be an excellent way to sell skins and get in the microtransaction game, which of course they're not unfamiliar with.
I mean, are they going to be building like an environment, like a Disney environment? Are you going to be like getting sniper rifled in the head by Donald Duck in front of Cinderella Castle? Because I don't think that's really what they want to.
I would agree with
showing.
you. So this is the question that we have. When they did Lego Fortnite, there is a completely different set of skins that goes alongside the Fortnite skins. So there are, if you have a Fortnite Lego character, a Fortnite Star Wars character, you get the Lego version of that skin in Lego Fortnite. So it's a different
I got that
skin
Boba
set.
Fett.
The thing that I think about is when you look at the Catwoman skin, which generally speaking, it's a third-person game, so you're behind Catwoman when she's playing. If they start designing Disney princesses in the way that they design Catwoman, I think we're going to have a problem here. I think there's going to be a completely different set of skins for the Disney Fortnite mode. I think that he said separate and alongside, but also interacting. So I think it's going to be like the Lego version. And in the Lego version of Fortnite, like the Venom skin, you can't get that. Or I think maybe or Predator, you can't get in the Lego version. Because you can't get rated T or above skins in Lego Fortnite. So they're probably going to build a completely separate environment here for this. Pro, have I geeked out enough? Oh, by the way, best thing that Fortnite did this time, they added the Cantina Band song to Fortnite Festival. That was a hoot.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to say, we do believe that George Lucas is likely to be brought onto the set of the Mandalorian movie. I'm not going to make any judgments about the movie. I think that there's a possibility here that Jon Favreau is going to do a love letter to the fans. He's going to perhaps do something that says, this is what I would have done had I not been subjugated and subverted at every single corner, every single alleyway by Kathleen Kennedy, Leslie Headland, Disney, and the rest. And that may be what we get. But I also understand that Jon Favreau has to create something that goes through Lucasfilm. And I know that that is it's a place, a hive of treachery, villainy, and toxicity. That is for sure. And folks, put a bow on it. It's time to wrap this thing up. Toss it to the side. You can come back, though, anytime. And don't forget, folks, that if you are a member of the channel, it's not just videos like this you can see anytime, but you can also view the entire archive of the Pro Show. So, folks, get to being a member on the double. It's just the price of a soda per month. You just click the little join button and you will gain access to all kinds of exclusive content. All right, folks, like, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms, it's the notification bell, and drop a comment down below. And wherever you are and whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.